In this episode of the RV Small Talk podcast, yes, we know it's been a while. We didn't have our ducks in a row. However, we're coming right back at you with an episode about the craziness that is RV pricing. Whether they be new or used, it's nuts right now. So we're going to talk about why, how you might benefit, and how it might be a little bit, who knows what.
Frustrating?
Yes. Welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about lightweight trailers and truck campers and the people, places, and adventures that go along with them. We are your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I'm Clint.
I'm PJ.
And I'm Lindsay. Thank you so much for listening.
Hey, we got a bonus. Who's our bonus today?
I'm Sean.
Hey, come on, jump in there, Sean.
Sean is here. He wandered in to look at a truck camper, and we stole him.
We handed him a microphone.
Because that's what we do.
Yes.
And if you would like to join the conversation, go over to Facebook and check out the Facebook group. It is called RV Small Talk Community. So check us out on Facebook, or check out any show notes from any episode, even the ones that we might have missed ourselves, over at rvsmalltalk.com. In the meantime, it's time to shoot the breeze, have some small talk, do some RV small talk. Let's go.
Clint, can you talk any faster?
Goodness, we need to put you in a contest.
Micro Machines, it's not the real thing.
Can you auction something off real quick?
No. I'm a hoarder. I want to keep all the junk.
Wow, how many cups of coffee?
This is only my second. No.
No.
This is number 3 real cups of coffee.
What is a not real cup of
Well,
coffee?
PJ's weird.
That's
it has
me.
a green label on it. It says decaffeinated.
Yeah.
You drank decaf?
I don't feel right. I'm a little sick, but I did have that whole Dr. Pepper too, and 2 donuts, and one donut.
2 donuts.
Yeah, I might go into like a little spasms.
You
listening
ate
to the
2
opening.
donuts. Don't lie.
Did I?
Yes.
Yes. No, I ate 2 here. I ate 1. He ate 1. But you had 1 earlier.
No,
Oh, then you only ate 1.
I ate 1, but I did have a double.
Giant Dr. Pepper. Jeez, you had
A Dr.
what?
Prepper. I had a Dr. Prepper because the man's looking and he's coming. It's a
Somebody
Dr. Prepper.
send us some kale in the mail. Clint
I'd
needs.
buy that box.
we need help. Oh.
No, we
Sign
don't.
up
Clint
now.
does.
Well, I hope everyone is listening quickly today.
I can slow it
As
down.
I tell my kids,
Let me set
turn
up
your
some
ears on.
mood
them
music
on.
and slow this puppy down.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to be talking about money and pricing and what the heck your RV is worth. That's going to get ramped up.
When we talk about like things that are not good, just like talk really fast. And then when we talk about the good things, just talk really slow.
Okay, fine.
Let's see how that works.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. You're a good thing. Let's talk about that. What brings you in?
I was coming in to look at the Cirrus 620.
A Cirrus? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
A Cirrus
Nobody's
620?
ever made that joke before, by
I
the
know,
way.
but I'm on the microphone this time.
Nobody. But you've come in and looked at all kinds of things.
I have.
And so it's just another round. But the first time you bought something, but since then you just been a looker. You've been a looker.
I'm trying to change that. I do my due diligence on research. So.
Yeah, he's not just a looker. He's a lurker.
lurker?
He's a lurker. But you are looking at the same manufacturer.
I am.
So you have what right now?
I have a Tag XL.
And it's not just any Tag XL, it's your Tag XL, which means you have done things to this.
I have.
What have you done to this Tag XL, and why are we
have you
now?
done those things?
And why are you? And why does it make sense to add something to the stable? So let's start out with what you have, what you've done. What makes it your own?
So many questions.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the Tag XL. It was before the Boondock edition came out, or
You might be the
Back then it
inspiration
could be.
for
Yeah,
the,
what year is it?
it's a 17.
You had to think.
So it was
Okay.
like
So 17.
pre-Outback.
Yes. It was pre-Outback, which is pre-Boondock.
Right.
Pre-Boondock, right. So I wanted something that was bigger. And mine had the fiberglass fenders on it, the real tiny tires on it, and I needed something to go off-roading in the trails.
It was cute for Monica, but it didn't have enough testosterone dripping off of it for you.
Exactly.
So you
Exactly.
kind of split the difference by adding.
I put the Outback axle on it.
Okay.
which is a 22 degree pitch, which lifted the camper up 22 degrees about. And then I put 31 1050 tires on it on 15-inch rims. That added additional clearance. So
And now your wife can't get into it.
she needs a step.
Because what is she? She's 4'11".
She's 4'11".
It's a Bigfoot tag.
Yeah, before I put the fenders on it and everything, I was so excited and had her come out and look at the progress. And she asked immediately, how am I going to get into this thing?
Running start and dive.
It's not that big. And then she went over to the side of it, opened the door, and put her chest on the edge of the bed.
That's hilarious.
So I had to get her a step.
So I'm assuming when you open the back kitchen that it is really your kitchen.
No, actually, she stands at it and everything's within reach.
Oh man, I don't cook at shoulder level.
We rarely cook from
Okay.
in the kitchen, so that's
Okay.
something that we don't necessarily use. We use a lot of the microwave. We don't use a lot of the cooktop.
But you open up the back to show it off because you
I did work
kind of
back there,
dressed it
too.
up.
Oh, what's going on back there?
Cool.
It's like it's kind of like a mullet thing. There's a party in the back.
There's a party in the back.
Okay, tell us about this party.
Mullets are back.
They were
Did
so
you know?
very
Oh,
bad.
that is so disturbing.
No, it's not.
I'd go for it
so
if I weren't
disturbing.
thinning out so bad on top.
No, we're still working on your double mustache.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay,
Fair enough.
sorry. Back to your tag.
Way too much coffee today.
None.
I'll waft mine in your direction.
Stop talking. Sean's talking.
So in the back, I changed out the countertop. I did a man-made stone. It was granted is too fragile for what I'm going to do with it. So I had
What you're going to do with it?
what I do with
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So I knew if I put a granite countertop in there, it was going to end up breaking on the road. So
Okay.
I had a man-made stone cut and put in. I also did the backsplash with aluminum tiles from Home Depot. So I redid all of that.
Very cool.
Nice.
That's all in the back. The suspension, I put the upgraded roof rack on the top of it. I upgraded the fan to a max fan. The
A max fan in that small space.
power lift one. Yeah.
Okay, but even just the regular one, that's a lot of power blowing into that little camper.
It is. The biggest reason why I did that is the overhang that is on that, so I can leave it open when it's raining.
Okay.
I can also leave it open when I'm rolling down the road.
Yeah.
So benefit in that. Plus the ability to have 10 speeds on it.
Right.
And cut it down to
Just
really
moving
low,
air
just
to
barely moving air.
blowing out your hair.
Right. Because sleeping, when it's -2 degrees outside and you have a heater going, you'll build up a lot of condensation on the
Yes.
walls and everything
Yeah.
if you have your vent closed. So having it open with no wind blowing, the fan's not on, or having it at like a 10%, maybe 20%, then that'll keep the air moving and keep the condensation down.
Can I just pause right there? You are an example. You and Monica are an example of, yes, with a small camper that isn't self-contained, doesn't have a toilet in and all that, you totally can camp in all those conditions and have a blast, because you two do that every year, several times a year.
Yes.
People always ask us, is the tag a 4-season camper? And I'm like,
It's more like, how willing are you?
what? The camper's not what needs to be 4-season. The people need to be 4-season.
I have
I'm a spring myself.
Really?
I'm autumnal.
I would rather camp in -2 degrees than to camp in 101 degrees.
Everyone raise your hand.
no.
Everyone raise your
Yeah,
hand if you're in the same category.
No,
I mean, I'd do it.
no.
I'd take 102 any day.
Yeah.
No.
We have figured out that the AC, if you don't have shade and the humidity is high, the AC will not cool. It will not keep it cold, I should
Yeah.
say. It'll cool it. It's not 101 degrees on the inside, but it's not comfortable to me.
Right, and everyone has this level of what they can bear with. But I'm if it's nighttime and it's in the upper 80s, I'm probably not sleeping at night.
I'm the same way.
Well, when we're used to house air conditioners, And they're recirculating all that air, and you get to ACs like is in your tag, and they're pulling from the outside. They can only bring it down about 20 degrees.
At best. In
So
the
you
best of
can't get it
circumstances.
to 60 degrees if it's 101 outside and you're not in the shade.
And I feel like that's
So
in like
there's
lower
just
humidity.
no way to do it.
Right.
You
no
know,
way to do
I
it.
think in lower humidity, that's the best chance of getting it down 20 degrees.
Okay.
In high humidity, I think it's
but-
even worse.
Comparing to -2 degrees outside, okay, you can warm up that trailer. I'll
Yeah.
grant you that. But I am not stepping foot out there and trying to enjoy myself in -2 degrees.
Yes, it's
That's
true.
the problem.
You can fix hot. You can't fix cold.
Well, you can survive hot. I should be freezing.
Yes, you can. Just water. Just jump in some water. Find a garden hose. Go to the sink.
There are
Go to the sink.
different things that we are able to do and not able to do when it's cold.
When it's
But
that
the
cold.
same thing, you know, we may go on a very, you know, during the peak heat of the day,
Yeah.
which is only 30 degrees, we may go on a hike, you know, and explore
Right.
something that's like a frozen river. You don't see frozen rivers around
Yeah.
here, you know.
Yeah.
So to go see something like that, then we deal with the cold.
And then you crawl back in your camper and get warm.
Exactly.
Okay.
We figured out two ways to
Now
keep
you
it-
can't. I keep interrupting you, but I want everybody to know this is a tiny teardrop. There is no standing up in this camper.
Well, and we mentioned,
It's-
alluded to the fact that Monica is tiny. However, this is
however,
the- yeah.
yes, no, there is only sitting up in bed in this camper.
And how tall are
really
you?
Pretty
I'm
much.
6 foot tall,
yeah.
Yeah, so you
So
take up the camper.
pretty much.
And so,
Dang, Mom.
well, you know, let's just get a visual here. Let's get a visual. So that's the thing. If it's -2 degrees, you might take a hike, but then you spend the rest of the time trying to stay warm. I don't know. I guess I'm not that.
yeah,
cold
I don't know
weather
because you've never been warm.
person. I've never been.
I'm
warm.
not sure she understands what warm
Yeah,
is.
you're right. You're right.
You're out of your
I don't know what to say about that.
wheelhouse
but,
here.
Yeah.
we do a lot of driving. And we go to different places, different little small towns, and we'll venture from, you know, the warmth of one cool shop to the warmth of a different cool shop. You know, so we'll bounce through shops, and then we'll leave that little town. We'll leave Silverton and we'll go to Ouray and do the exact same thing. And then we'll leave Ouray and go to Telluride and do the exact same thing.
And it's okay if it's cold when you're doing that.
Right.
Yeah,
and
I'm with you.
And then at the end of the evening, you know, you go back to your camper and you turn on the heater, or we turn on the. We figured out that using a heating blanket.
Yeah,
It's
perfect.
phenomenal.
In that space, yes,
Perfect.
absolutely.
The heater sometimes will heat us out of there. You know, within
Yeah,
5
it's
minutes,
too
I'm ready
much.
for my nose to start bleeding.
Yeah.
So to have something that like that's turned on way low, but you have your heating blanket that
Right.
is there. That
It's like the just right.
right.
Yeah. Well, you know, since this
PJ's getting
podcast.
cold just thinking about
I
it.
am absolutely. It doesn't take much. I am sitting here in our office with a coat on. So we are actually having a podcast talking about what the heck is your RV worth and why are these prices so crazy?
We are.
We are actually.
We'll
Did
get
you
there.
know that? So thank you,
News
all of you
about
out
me.
there, for hanging in there with us, because we're just having one of those days. But Sean,
Let's
you've
blame it on
done so
Sean.
many cool things to your trailer. You know prices are higher than they've ever been.
Right.
Have you thought about selling it?
No.
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 Even though you could probably get more for it than you paid for it.
Yes.
Yes. Why? Why? Why wouldn't you sell it and get your 620?
Because that's not where his value is.
I have done a lot of work to it. It's mine. I don't know if other people would look at it and it be theirs. So
If they paid you enough money, would you care?
no.
Okay.
I mean, I would sell it if someone came up and offered me.
$5,000 more than you paid for it.
Right. Absolutely. I would be ignorant not to. However, I'm not going to go out and put it out there for sale.
Okay. It's not all about the money, is what
Right.
you're saying. Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, you use your camper. I mean, you really do.
I do.
And the value is in these experiences.
Right.
And you're not done having them.
Right.
And right now, to get you something like it, it'd be a waiting list.
Right.
And it costs more.
That's the other thing. If I sell this, then I have to replace it.
Right.
with something. So
That's going to cost more than it.
Right.
right,
Right.
and
Which is-
trying to find it,
Right.
finding the one that I want,
Right.
and all of that. It's just for me, it's not worth the effort.
And this one, you have had it since new, 2017?
Since new, yeah,
And you've worked it out. Like it's second nature, back of the hand sort of thing.
right.
Yeah. Why? I ask you why.
Why what?
Would you sell it?
Jinx.
Oh.
You owe me a Coke. I don't drink Coke, though. I'll take a Dr. Pepper.
We know what that did to Clint during this podcast. Are you sure you want a Dr. Pepper?
Not opposed?
Well, I mean, let's just. Are you done?
Probably not.
don't even
I'm
have-
still
Probably not.
recording.
Yeah. So, okay, let's try to have the
Okay.
conversation.
Let's start at the top.
All right.
RV prices are now approaching dizzying heights. Sorry. Just
I
reading.
thought it was awesome. Good job.
I'm done.
I'm
But they
getting
are.
vertigo just thinking about it.
Like you on the mountainside of the mountain.
The mountainside of the mountain.
I realized I got my verb and my noun mixed up.
What side is that?
Any side,
the
Clint.
mountain?
Any side of the mountain is the side you're on.
us today? We skip 1 week and we don't know how to talk anymore.
Well, we have had a kind of a crazy week for lots of reasons, but one of the reasons is next week is supposed to be our big dealer open house, but since it's really not happening, it got canceled. Everybody is just emailing us price increases. Like, whoa,
Right.
you are kidding.
No,
Whoa.
we're used to price increases around this time of year.
Yes.
However, it's done so differently that is causing a bit of an issue.
Yeah, the communications during the pandemic has been really changed in our world. And of course, reps don't visit us much, if any, because most of them still aren't allowed to travel. So we don't see a lot of people. They don't stop in and say, hey, here's what's new. Here's what's changing. We're upgrading this, but we just kind of get this email that says, from here on out, we don't have this part. Or from here on out, this price is higher. Or from here on out, this refrigerator is now that refrigerator.
Or all those trailers you just sold? Here's what the flooring will look like.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And these emails, it's not like once in a while. Like we get these emails almost every day from some manufacturer about something going on. It's just crazy.
And now it's about price increases. So we have been talking in the office and said, whoa, what? Yeah, I mean, the feel for us is that people are raising their prices by astronomical amounts. So, is that really happening? I actually compared manufacturers' pricing over the last 10 years on 5 different units.
2011 to 2021?
2012 to 2022, because
right.
right now
That's where we're
everybody's
at.
building 2022s.
Okay.
So let me tell you what I found, because I started thinking maybe I'm just, getting old. Like, I remember when bread was a nickel kind of thing.
Right.
When a dime bag cost a dime.
What?
You're gonna have to.
No, you're not. Don't you dare edit that out. It's a great line.
I like it.
Yeah. Now I'm off track. Okay, so I pulled from actual sales that we did and what we paid for units on the manufacturing price.
What we paid?
What we paid,
Okay.
not what they're sold for,
Because that's a different discussion. Let's
Yeah.
talk about this first.
So I looked at between the Tab, which is the big brother to what you have,
Correct.
Sean, and a Lance truck camper and a Lance trailer. They all ranged between 20 and 25%, 26% of increase in cost to us between 2012 and 2017. It's not so outrageous over 5 years, right? But in the next 5 years, between 2017 and 2022, it was actually less. So, well, one that was higher went down a little bit to 20, and then 23 went to 26, and let's see, 21 went all the way down to under 10% with Lance trailers when you look at the overall scheme of cost. Now,
Increase from 2012 to 2017 versus 2017
now they've
to
had
2022.
steady increases.
So
but
the
that
amount of
isn't-
increase has decreased. They have all increased, but the rate of increase has decreased.
Who's on first?
Right? Is that right?
That's right.
you're just sucking up now.
This is
tracking.
fun.
Okay.
But
all right.
when you, I mean, it's hard without the visuals, but when you're looking at the increases over the past 5 years, there were 3 manufacturers where it looked pretty much similar in the second half, the second 5 years as it did in the first. So recently they didn't have that much increase. However, Lance doesn't have their 2022 trailer prices out yet. And I am told to expect, somewhere around 20%.
Another 20%.
for a
Over.
year, like a 1 year difference.
Like now. Now, I'm only saying this about Lance because I know of at least 5 other major manufacturing companies that are in that range right now. I mean, huge increases. And a lot of these, we work with Intech. They do a great job, and they have increased, kind of tried to slow grow it, thinking the pandemic is going to pass. And now they're having to have a huge jump because everything has gotten so much more expensive
Well, wait. More expensive for them?
for them.
So,
Yes.
so it's not just saying let's ask for it because we can get it. It's not manufacturers saying, hey, because there's so much demand, we can ask for more and get it, right?
Yeah. How far back does this go?
Yeah.
The price increase, because that's how the world works, right? Like, I have to pay more for it, so I'm going to charge you more for it, and then you have to charge that person more for it, and then that person has to charge that. So, like, where is this starting?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Why is this happening? We can always just say, oh, it's the pandemic. And everybody will go, oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but what does it
Everything's all
mean?
screwed up. But the reality is, yeah, what happened and what's next?
So if I take my guess at this, I think every last facet, go straight back to raw materials, steel, aluminum, copper for the electrical wiring. I believe that that's where the price increases are starting, and then they just kind of work up the chain.
Spray paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling them that I went and tried to buy spray paint on Sunday, and the shelves were almost bare. There's no spray paint. And I'm like, just things that I never thought about are just not available. I mean, I went to 2 Home Depots thinking one store must have just, lost their stocker or something. But no, there's no spray paint. It's just so crazy.
So I don't know why, but I'm thinking of a left-leaning fence post that's been spray painted. It's obviously a Huffington Post.
Oh, geez.
Clint's on a roll today.
Oh, he thinks he's
Like
on a
butter.
roll. Come on. But even if you're looking at raw materials,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just this feeling in the air that, the pandemic's been here, we've had to do without, and there's not enough people and all that. But I will tell you, in the last 6 months, the supply has gotten so much crazier, so much worse. And we all feel like our life is getting a little more normal. But
But the price of campers is not.
Or cars, or trucks.
Stuff
Right,
is getting
right.
so bizarre. I mean,
High
just trying
value
to buy
goods, I
normal
think,
things.
do you feel like it's the high value, high number goods, high dollar amount goods? How's that? Where we're really still seeing the effects? Like the grocery store, we've kind of absorbed that feeling of, okay.
they're filling up the shelves with a whole lot of the same thing that we don't need.
Right. Yeah, but we've kind of acclimated to that because that's the day to day. It's a little bit more mundane. But these big ticket items, the automobile industry, the RV industry, and the housing and all that, where wood just doubled in price. Steel for steel construction doubled in price or more. I feel like it's the big ticket items where it's just shocking what has happened and what's continuing.
Well, if you think about the pricing, it has to start over here, like raw materials, right?
Yep.
Well, you got to get raw materials somewhere where they can make something out of it. And if some of that is made overseas, then it's got to get here. We had a discussion this morning about containers. The container shortage.
Sean, you seem like someone who'd be interested in containers.
No, sir.
Because I tell you what, if you
Not
got
going to live in a container. No.
$56,000 for a container.
Okay, but what? But
that 6 months ago
I have a
cost
sticky note that says
like $4,500.
Right.
No, not 6 months. Okay, here's
Okay,
what I wrote down
okay.
from that conversation. March of 2020, that container cost $4,500.
Right. And that is
One-
getting a container to put your stuff in to ship it here so you can make stuff.
1 year later, March of 2021, that same shipping container, 16,000.
Wow.
From 4,500 to 16,000. Now that's March to March. Now we're 6 months later ish here in October, and that shipping container is $58,000.
What?
58,000
What?
for a 40-foot shipping container.
Now,
Same
the
40-foot shipping container.
caveat is that does include on that last number getting it from the port to the manufacturer, having a truck
That last
drive it.
number is shipping.
Because they have
Yes.
to start including that number, I'm told. I'm not in the container business, but they have to start including that because that same supplier has containers that have been sitting in the shipyards for like, what did he say, 17 months? That they can't get out because they're all piled up and nobody knows where everything is and they don't have people to unload them and distribute them and
So it's
drive
not just
them
the
around.
item. The logistics of moving those items has fallen apart to such a degree that it's just, unfathomable.
So how much does that piece have to go up? I mean, even if you had 1,000 pieces in a container,
Right.
or 5,000 pieces in a container,
Just to cover the container
just to
and the
cover
shipping.
$56,000 container charge. Whoa. So, okay, then there's, parts that aren't there and they have to get different parts. That's the other thing we're getting every week. Okay, we don't have this piece, so
we'll
send it to you later.
There's that.
We're like, whoa.
And then there's all these changes. Like we had to pivot. We had to go with a different brand stovetop or whatever. And the pivot isn't a across the board easy lateral slide. A pivot costs money.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't find the part at all. We couldn't find the stovetop at all. So we had to find someone who could supply stovetops. Well, that research took time. That connection took time. That's money. And then finding that small batch somewhere else actually costs more.
Do you know how many of our off-road trailers use Yeti coolers?
A pretty significant amount.
You can't get Yeti coolers anymore. Not because they're not out there. I don't know. Are they not out there? But somewhere along this manufacturing thing, they're not there. So everything has to pivot, which means then the way the trailers are built and the way you use them, you have to find something that's available. They're not available. But, usually what we see now is engineering costs. We see we built a new trailer. We designed something new and fabulous.
Right.
Are we seeing that? Have you seen that?
Ooh, that depends. That's manufacturer by manufacturer. However, if there is a change in a component, an air conditioner or something like that, it might actually take some engineering redesign and all that. Not often in the air conditioning because usually they're designed to a standard thing, but sometimes it is a part.
But
Do y'all know that Is it Johnny Cash who sings that song about putting together a car, and he steals a piece from the assembly line every day, and then he puts together the 51, 52, 53, 54, 57, 50. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know the song. I can't think of it.
Is that Johnny Cash?
I don't know.
I
am I
don't know,
thinking?
but I'm going
All
to
right.
find it.
Anyway, he
Yeah.
builds a car one piece at a time by stealing, but it ends up being like this hybrid Frankenstein car because it's a bunch of different year models, and
Yeah.
like the headlamp is from here, and so like maybe that's what RV manufacturers start doing is like they can't find the parts to build an RV, so they can't make anything new, so they could just take pieces from all the things they make and put them
Right.
together, and we could see something really cool.
have a Frankenstein.
That's how my brain works while y'all are talking about this stuff. I'm like, ooh,
like it.
Frankenstein camper.
But we haven't seen any.
It is Johnny Cash, by the way.
All right. Good
My
job,
daddy's so
Lindsay.
proud of me right now.
But we haven't seen new stuff. I haven't seen new stuff. Sometimes they'll say, yeah, we have a new floor plan. Well, they made the bed so it will flip up or whatever.
Ooh, we added a piano hinge. we could find those, so we decided to use it.
Right?
It's just, to me, the prices are skyrocketing, but we're not seeing that much innovation that we usually see. That's unfortunate.
All right, let's move on to used.
Well,
Oh, we're not there yet. Sorry.
I wouldn't move on to used. I would say what people are still buying the new ones. What happens when you put a deposit down on a new one? I mean,
Oh, because some of
Pricing
them.
people are still
increase.
buying.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so let me set this up. So I go in, I talk to a dealership, I find a salesperson. We agree this is the right unit for me. We sit down, do paperwork, but they're not looking to build it for another year, and there may be price increases in between. What happens?
So if you're going to buy a trailer, Sean, and it's not going to be here for 6 months to a year, how do you feel about that? Are you nervous?
like with price increases and
Or
As a consumer, I mean, that when you're looking at something that is going to be out 6 months to a year from now, especially a year, 6 months, I wouldn't expect that it would go up a whole lot. But if you came back to me and told me, hey, your camper that you ordered a year ago, it's going to be this much now, I think I can understand that inflation and everything, and I wouldn't be upset about it. But
we're talking 20%. How do you feel about 20%?
20%. I mean, there's a line there.
But you're talking about over a year, but what if you put one on order that's supposed to be here in 3 months and that price increase comes in that 3 months range? That's still
Yeah.
a 20% increase in 3 months that is passed to the manufacturers. So
But a 3 month was kind of a normal thing just a couple of years ago. What did we do? What did dealerships do then and manufacturers do then?
when there were price increases,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll say what you already have on order is this price, and they'll say starting the first of next month, they're going to be this price. But when you have a 3 to 6% price increase and you don't have 150 units pre-ordered, then it's not that big a
It's-
deal.
yeah.
You have one or two. We have an entire file cabinet full of pre-orders.
but when this is the only trailer you can get and your name is already on it and
it just went up 20%.
it just went up 20%,
Yeah.
What do
that's
you-
hard to stomach.
It is.
if that's the only way, it depends on how much you want it.
yeah,
As
yeah.
guys,
As a
I guess
consumer,
that's it.
I mean, it's supply and demand at its
Yeah.
finest. If you call me and say, hey, the trailer that you ordered a year ago, I have one now, but the bad is it's $7,000 more expensive. How bad do I want it? Am I going to go shop used, or am I going to pay for it?
At what point as the buyer do you go, no, I mean, I chose my colors. I chose my cushions, which they changed on me, of course. I chose this air conditioner, this entertainment package. I chose this. Like I signed my name to this, like the build sheet and all that. And we're a year or more out. It finally came off the production line, and the numbers have changed. I feel like this was done to me. Like, didn't we agree on
Yeah.
something? I mean, at what point?
I think that is up to a dealership as to whether they call you back and say, Mr. Smith, thank you very much for your deposit. I know you've waited 3 months, but it looked like your trailer coming in at the end of the year is going to cost $7,000 more. Would you like to keep this on order, or would you like your deposit back? I mean, that's certainly a conversation that sometimes we've had to have.
That's so hard.
And yeah. And then the dealership feels so drippy.
And then social media gets word of it.
Well,
and
you know what? We get torn up on social media, and as every dealership does.
Right, especially now.
And occasionally, you know what? We don't handle things perfectly, or an employee says something that they shouldn't have. But the reality is, so much of this is unprecedented is such an overused word, but it's out of our control. And we did not expect 20% increases. We expected 5.
Right.
And I'll stomach 5. I can't stomach 20%. We're not making any money at that point.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So, and, you know, some dealerships I've heard, I've actually seen some emails where they're going, well, then I'll just give you your money back because I can sell it for more. And so, like houses, you know, all the house builders now around here, if you put down money to have a custom home built a year ago and agreed on a price, they want you to cancel because they can make more money on it selling it now than they could a year ago.
That's right.
Even though things cost more. So I don't know. Do trailer manufacturers and dealerships do that?
Well, the fact of the matter is, as kind of a de facto middleman, the dealership, yeah, if there's a price increase of 20%, a dealership simply can't absorb that. They can't make a concession to the customer, you know. I mean,
okay, here's another caveat. What if the dealership is selling at MSRP, which a lot of them are? Who would buy at MSRP 4 years ago?
No,
3
that
years
was
ago?
a thing.
I mean, who would? No one.
That's the number that you know not to go to. Like that's the no number.
That's the most expensive you can legally charge me. I don't know, but that is happening now fairly regularly. Selling at MSRP or close to, especially if you fear a big price increase and the trailer's going to take 6 months to a year. You have to hedge your bet. So that's tricky. So then you throw in, I'm going to wait for the used market.
Oh, geez.
So the price of the new one is going up. Of course, the cost of the used one is going up too, right? Because there's a demand for used ones.
Huge demand.
So people are making money selling, which is why I asked you, people are making money selling their used ones for pretty much what they paid for it or more sometimes if it's 2 or 3 years old. So at what point is it worth waiting for the used one, and will the new ones come down? I mean, I cannot even imagine how many questions the consumers have. If I've been in this business 25 years and I have questions.
Right.
I don't know how it's going to play out.
Right.
You can send your questions to.
We all have a few opinions, but it is a real dilemma.
Sean, would you consider a used 620?
If we could find it.
You would?
Absolutely.
You would?
Why not?
All right.
Y'all write on it.
Y'all call us.
Have you scoped them out at all? Have you seen if they're
Have
out
you
there?
looked for them?
So I haven't looked for them. No, I've done research on YouTube, and that's the reason I was passing by today, and I was like, I wonder if they got one. So I whipped in here. I've looked on the website, Princess Craft website, and there's none are shown. But I was like, maybe there's one that's sold that's just sitting there.
That's
that I
exactly
could
what that
peek in,
620 is.
and be able to feel it in person rather than on a video.
Right.
So,
You know, that
so
620 was our only new truck camper we had for sale for about 5 hours.
And now we don't have any.
And now we don't, and it's sold.
Yeah.
And now we don't
so
have
we
any.
had a new one for about 5 hours.
Can I put that in a little box too?
Yeah.
We are the largest truck camper dealership in the whole state of Texas and quite a few miles beyond Texas. And we
have
don't
zero.
have any new truck campers.
Zero new truck campers for
we
sale.
delivered 7, I think, last week, but half of them were used. 1 or 2 was new, and a few others I think I guess more than half of them were used because I think we only had 2 or 3 new ones, but they
It's just
they
crazy.
come in, they're here for a day or two, and people come and pick them up and they're gone. We got nothing.
So yeah, that was really lucky because we only have 5 truck campers on our lot. 4 of them are used and one of them is sold and one of them happens to be a Cirrus 620.
Yeah.
So as a buyer, how do you
bonkers.
You feeling
decide?
lucky?
Yeah. Do you put one on order? Do you pay the new price? Do you look for a used one? What do you think, Sean?
Which you
I
can
think
do.
it's all in what the consumer is looking to do.
What are you looking to do?
What am I looking to
Yeah.
do? I have time.
Okay.
I'm adventuring constantly. Anyways, I have the tag.
He's
truck
a-
camper, yeah.
He's totally Rolling Stone. Time is on his side.
You will gather no moss.
So I have time because I can still play in the teardrop for as long as I want. So if it comes out, a year from now or 2 years from now that I am able to find the truck camper that is the one for me, then I have that time. There's other people who are trying to get into this
Right.
lifestyle who, yeah, man, you're
Have
gonna
more
have
of a
to,
time
you're gonna have to
constraint,
do
yeah.
it. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it some way or another. You're going to have to get into that and jump into it.
Yeah.
So that's where I fall.
It's weighing what's more important, like getting it now or paying the lowest price or getting exactly what you want, right? Like there's...
Well, used shoppers are the type of people whose personality really likes to find that needle in a haystack, that super deal. But if you really do that, you might miss a whole year of traveling and adventuring.
Well, and we've said it, I know we've said it before on the podcast, but everyone keeps talking about waiting until it goes down. But
Do you think it would?
I don't have an opinion on that, but I've heard you say that I think people are kind of anticipating it's going to happen sooner than it probably actually will happen. So yeah, how much time are you willing to wait to not camp?
So my notion is that something's going to level off. Maybe the prices will come back down a little bit, but they will never go back to 2019 or an inflated 2019. I think that this is moving numbers to a level that they can't back down that far.
Clint's hand is going up and
It's
down.
it's
You
going-
guys can't see it, but it's
It's floating around.
Yeah,
conducting a symphony over here.
Do re mi over here.
Well, if the used market is going up and they're selling at all-time high numbers in the used market,
PJ is talking with
and the
hands
new
now.
ones are going up high, I mean, aren't we at the same amount of savings? So if you really
Yes,
want to
but
use
it's
one,
ultimately-
you will save some money, but you're not going to get a steal of a deal either way, right?
Right, but they're both ultimately more money.
Yeah.
Right.
The value of
Everything
the dollar,
is going to go up.
yeah, the value of the dollar is not going up with these numbers.
Well, we have had double the inflation this year than we have
Right.
in the
Just
past
from
10
January
years.
to this month.
And that's just normal.
But-
That's the dollar inflation. That's not on the prices
Yeah.
of campers. That's the
The
U.S. dollar inflation.
rate. Yeah. And so if everything keeps getting higher and inflation goes up, I mean, then where are you? I mean, does it really boil down to how bad do you want a camper?
Yes. I
How
think it
bad do you
does.
want to go
Yes.
camping?
Pretty
think it
much,
does.
yeah.
Suck it
I
up and
agree.
buy something.
Yes.
Or don't.
Or don't.
We're not here to tell you what to
yeah.
do.
Well, no, I am here to tell you what to do, but you don't have to do it. You don't have
I'm
to
living
do it.
proof.
You don't have to listen.
Stop it, Mom.
Go have
Not
some
going to college,
fun.
Mom.
The math in all of this right now is just so unpredictable. It's just so unpredictable and so crazy.
Are there any winners right now? Is anyone winning? Is anyone like? I mean, you would think that there's a lot of winners here.
I see a whole
doesn't
lot of
look-
losers.
Doesn't look like a lot of fun. Okay,
Well-
manufacturers.
Are they
Is
winning?
this a season of winning for manufacturers?
Oh, my reps are all mad because they see the demand and they don't have the campers to fill them, and they are only paid when things get manufactured and shipped out.
Yeah.
However, the reality is they are shipping more RVs so far this year than in any other previous year.
But it seems like it's slower because there's so many waiting.
Because there's so many waiting, and we all started out at zero. So there's still nothing sitting on.
Well,
a
and
lot.
I can imagine
Or
as a
not much.
manufacturer rep, like you just get your whole dealer base just screaming at you all the time.
Yes.
I need more. I need it faster.
Yes.
Where
what
are my
happened to
campers?
this and this
yeah.
and
Because before it was just kind of this normal, I'm ordering this with these options. Okay, here it is. Yay, we all get paid. But now it's like more, faster.
I bet it was fun for the first week or two.
Oh, God. Okay, so manufacturers aren't winning.
Well, they are building as much as they possibly can, but the prices are bouncing all around. They're having to, they can't just say, okay, let's build with the Suburban water heater. All they can do is say, do we have enough water heaters? Wait, do we need to switch? Do we need to find a different one? Oh my gosh, now we don't have this.
Right.
It's like there's no air conditioners one week, and then there's no awnings, and then there's no.
Their problems are, our
So-
problems are their problems.
They don't get to just build and say, oh, we can predict this percentage.
Well, what about
profit. It's
what about
just
this?
crazy.
Those of us who try to put out information on new units, like what we do through our YouTube videos, and those YouTube videos show a specific air conditioner or a specific,
gosh.
and then the customers go, "Your video
It is
showed me the
so
wrong
hard.
thing," and then
We're like, yeah, well, they changed. Well, and then the manufacturers don't change their website. They don't change any of their material.
right.
And so the customers are saying, but I want that. I want that one.
It
and that's
doesn't
what's supposed
exist.
to come. And we're like, you can't retrofit it. Can't help you.
No one knew it, but what we were showing you in that video was a unicorn.
Well,
But we didn't know it. Yeah.
we could do a whole podcast on customers' complaints, but the manufacturers are making money. They're struggling with employees and parts. The reps are making money. They're struggling with production and angry people. The dealerships are making money, but they are struggling with managing the same things.
And
shortages.
timelines. Yeah.
And dad jokes.
Yeah, and the dad
Who
jokes.
struggles
Man.
managing those? I'm doing great. It's one of my healthiest dad joke seasons. My numbers are way up.
That's probably, yeah. Oh, yes, they are. Yes.
Production way up.
But is it meeting demand?
Yeah.
Are we
Depends on who
flooding,
you ask.
are we flooding the market?
Saturated.
So, but consumers, are they losing through all of this, or are they getting enough campers?
Sean, how do you feel? You're a consumer.
Are you a loser?
Tell us.
Whoa.
When you ask me like that, no, man.
Look, if you don't get help here, please get help somewhere.
Right.
It won't be here, FYI.
I think there's so many people that have gotten into, ever since the COVID started and everybody was locked down at home, I got a bright idea. Let's go to public lands. Let's go somewhere with public lands.
like it.
And just hang out for a month or so. Everyone else had my same exact idea.
Yes, they did.
So-
yes, they
People
did.
were buying up campers and they're figuring out public lands. They're figuring out how to get out there and how to do things, and they just flooded it. We looked at one place that it had, 12, 15 campsites, and there were probably 150 RVs in there.
Oh, that's so. That's not what you want.
Right. So it's like, okay, that's a proof that there's so many more people that are getting out and doing this,
Which is
a good thing.
Good. Yeah.
I want as many. Me personally, I want as many. I want to go see. I want to see you at the campsite. I want to say hello.
Yeah, but you're going to leave early.
I will. leave early.
I want to say hello, but I will
And
not
I'm
say
not going to say
goodbye.
goodbye. But
It's a glance. It's not a C. It's a glance.
I want to see all these people out there, and that's great. But I forgot where I was going to go with
I'm sorry.
Are you a loser? The consumer as a whole, are they losing out on all of this inflation? Or is it kind of a win situation because it's getting more people camping, even though it's more money?
So I think there are, like I was saying, there's more people camping, but the companies can't keep up with that. And, I look at it as an earthquake and you have all these aftershocks afterwards. And we're probably in one of the aftershocks, all the prices going up or this, we can't source this product to put in the camper. So let's source this. And then customers are pissed and stuff like that. For me, I think that I understand enough about it. So if if a camper came in, if the truck camper came in and it had a different AC in it, okay, does it work the same as the other one? Mm-hmm. Does it accomplish the same as the one that I saw was in there? Then let's go with it. Mm-hmm. If not, give it to somebody else and go try to find myself another one. Mm-hmm. Which is gonna, if I waited a year, now I got another year of waiting.
There's that feeling of disappointment of this is what I thought I was getting, and now you don't have it. And even if it's the same and it works the same, it's still, that feeling of like it's not what I had in my head. Everybody wants.
I can't believe you guys would do this to me.
It feels very personal, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so personal.
I think it feels very personal to the consumer.
Yeah, well, can you imagine? You buy something that's $40,000 that you may or may not even seen, and you waited, I don't know, 4, 6, 8 months for it, and it comes in and it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's different, and it might cost more, and it's just deflating. Yeah.
So what is the smart thing for? I know I'm struggling with this because what I'd love to know, which there is no answer for, I know, but what's the smart thing for a buyer to do at this point? Do they wait? Do they buy?
If you want it that bad, buy.
I agree. Mm-hmm. And with that, compromise.
Yeah.
If it's not exactly what you want, at least you have it and you can get out and go do your thing.
I think the understanding too that it's all across the board, that it does go all the way back to the beginning, and it's not like some evil plan to get all the money to the dealerships or the manufacturers or whatever. I think that like understanding that it's easier to accept what's happening here.
I think that
acceptance is the first step.
I think there's also this knowing.
I know this.
Knowing yourself a little. Talk to yourself a little bit, so other people can hear you and worry about you. But talk to yourself a little bit and know what's really doing it for. Because if your fear of missing out is the activities that you'll be able to do, the actual camping experiences, then go for it. But if your FOMO, your fear of missing out, is because you want this exact product exactly the way it is because you like to own things,
then wait for it.
Then I would wait.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantees, and those changes can and probably will happen this time. So if your joy is in the possession of the thing, I think I would lean on wait till you see the thing in person and buy it because you love the thing that you can see and touch. But if your thing is the experiences, then who cares about that air conditioner as long as it works? Who cares about maybe the upholstery as long as it sits? Go have your experiences. That's my thought.
It's a good thought.
I agree, because whether I'm out in a hammock, a tent, a tag, or a truck camper, I'm going to be out there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter for me as long as I'm out.
Sean doesn't care.
It.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Sean don't care.
Well, I will say that if you're not using your camper, here's what I do know about the situation now. If you are not using that camper and it is sitting there and
that's money.
You're planning on maybe doing it sometime. No, this is your golden opportunity.
Yes.
This is the golden egg. It doesn't matter how. Don't wait to repair that. Don't wait to replace that cushion. Don't even wait to put new tires on it, dress it up. Don't do anything. Just snap a few pictures, put it online, be honest, and you will get the best bang for your buck.
Right now, yes.
Right now, this minute.
And put that money towards joy and experiences and
whatever they are.
And if you're just going to use it whenever, then go ahead and sell it and rent for those just whenevers.
Yeah, so that person right there is the clear winner in this right now, because they have the best opportunity to get out from under whatever it is maybe they're not using and get top dollar. And it isn't always the case. So yeah, those guys, they're winning.
Cool.
But maybe you want to just air up those tires and head on out there and meet Sean on the back roads. That would be cool too.
I'll be waiting by the fire.
All right.
Very good. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks for having me.
You're like an awesome surprise.
Yes.
You took the podcast to 11.
This one goes to 11.
Thank you. I was like, somebody get that reference, please. Somebody.
And you're speaking to me just like Spinal Tap.
If you have not yet, don't forget to subscribe to the RV Small Talk wherever you get your podcasts. We love reviews and ratings, especially on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, big hearts.
We love it. We love it so much. It helps just to get the podcast out there for other listeners. Join us on our Facebook page. Have some discussions with us. If you have a question, you want to show us your camping trip, we love to see it. It's called RV Small Talk Community on Facebook. And I'm out of words.
No, you're out of oxygen.
Take it
I heard you
away.
kind of petering out at the end.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you for joining us. If you want to see the show notes or any other show notes for any other episode, if you want to find the other episode where Sean and Monica were on, then you need to go back to our archives at rvsmalltalk.com.
That was such a good episode. We played that game. That was so good.
Is that the SpongeBob game?
Yes, y'all go
Okay.
listen.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a game about SpongeBob. That was a bad commercial for it, but
Oh, sorry.
it's good.
It is. That was a ton of fun. That was a great day.
So fun. Let's just keep talking about how fun it is while Clint stares at us.
Y'all need to shut off.
Okay.
Everybody, thanks again. We will see you for the next episode of the RV Small Talk podcast.
Bye.